Thank you, Chair. I think the most significant contribution that IT has made to urban planning, at least, is the development of the AutoCAD software. And IT can do wonders with regard to urban management, rural management. The prime example of urban mismanagement is the lake on the banks of which we are holding this conference. Walter D. Lawrence, in his very celebrated book, The Official Gazetteer of J&K, says that, the legend is that the softness of Pashmina shawl, the Pashmina shawl owes its softness to being washed in the waters of Dal Lake. But see, you see the plight of Dal Lake now. It's all because we have not been wise, we have not been, we have not resorted to the best practices for urban management. Those of us who have the opportunity to have gone to the old downtowns of Srinagar will realize that the kind of environment that those people live, and the need for urban management. See, I'm a civil engineer by profession, and my perception of urban management is limited to the extent of providing services for the people, like drinking water, electric supply, water and sanitation, sewerage and solid waste management, environment management. My initial brush with urban management was when I was posted in the public health engineering department. A guy came to me saying that he did not have drinking water for his newly constructed house. I was really amazed. I was a little amazed. How can it be possible that a person who has made a new house, invested his lifetime saving, cannot have drinking water supply for his newly constructed house? And then I started, learning the process. Suresh Kumar ji, the Principal Secretary, Home, made a presentation in the morning about the process for obtaining permission for building construction. Now, as far as technology and IT intervention is concerned, they have, evolved a system which expedites the clearance at least. But the basic issues remain. I mean, they can send this. They normally send to the line departments, the public health engineering departments, the electric supply department, the power development department, and other departments. There is a requirement of NOC. But all they do is they say, we have no objection to this guy making a house at this particular place, but we do not make any assurance for supply of drinking water or for supply of electric supply. It's a very, very weird kind of argument, because it is a responsibility of the state to be providing these basic facilities. All these questions remain. Suppose, I make a house somewhere. What about my drinking water supply? What about my bijli? What about other things? So there has to be a holistic approach, as Mr. Sahu was saying. There has to be a holistic approach to urban management. You develop these zones, these building zones, wherein you pre-plan the water supply schemes, the road connectivity, other things that are required for improving the quality of life. A small example of IT intervention in urban management is, I had a chance to go to Dubai some time back, and they have a system, a very simple system, wherein they are traveling in a car, and suppose there's a traffic violation. The cameras there pick up the traffic violation, and it automatically penalizes the driver, maybe 10 dirhams or 20 dirhams for the traffic violation, and it docks 4 points, where they're called black points, 4 black points from his, from his account. And if you are docked 12 black points from account for the year, you have to ground the vehicle. You cannot drive for the remaining year. So this is basically technology, because technology picks up the offense and it translates into a kind of SMS or through a computer. The message is generated. Day in and day out in JNK, we see there is the problem of traffic jams, and the traffic guys are trying their level best to regulate the traffic, but often with no results, because we are not using technology. I mean, one of the solutions, one of the innovations for technology in traffic management would be the synchronization of traffic lights. I mean, you have on a given stretch of road, you have 10 traffic lights. And depending on the load of traffic on that particular point, at one particular point, the timings, the green, red, yellow timings can be regulated as per the traffic congestion. And there is also the question, the requirement of credible database. as Mr. Sahu was, saying. Normally, when we plan the roads, the practice is to send these either fresh graduates or the students from the engineering colleges. They will go to a traffic location. They'll go to a road location and count the number of vehicles that pass through that intersection. They will count the number of scooters, the cars, the buses, whatever. And then, depending on some kind of linear increase, maybe 5%, 6%, 10%, they will evaluate or try to forecast the number of vehicles that will be plying on that particular stretch of road for maybe 10 years, 15 years. But it doesn't work that way. We have an experience in J&K, particularly in Kashmir, during the last 20 years. There has been, mass migration of people from the rural areas to the urban areas for want of better education, for want of better healthcare, or purely from the sense of security. But these islands have come up on the peripheries of Srinagar city, and they also have become virtually slums, without any water supply, without any road connectivity, and whatever road connectivity they have, they are small alleys, without only one vehicle can pass through that roads. And again, technology, when we use for urban management, you can do a forecasting based on some kind of trends. What is going to be the trend of migration to a particular area depending on the land use pattern of that particular area, and what is the incidence, what is the probability that a given set of people, a given number of people will move to that particular area. And then they can forecast, and this is the requirement of water supply in that area, this is the requirement of electric supply in that area, and plan accordingly. And and the implementation should be subservient to this database and this this technology-driven urban plans. I think that's all, sir. Thank you.